for younger generations. We can go and tell them, are you labeled as a troublemaker? If you are, you would be an amazing business analyst. We want you to become one, because that's what we are. We break the rules. We ask the questions. We are the ones who keep asking the question, why, how? And if you are that kid that's labeled as a troublemaker, think about becoming the BA.
It's from the age of 12 up to university. So far, actually, we reached out to over 100 students. We're really, really thrilled about it and excited. It's an amazing experience for those students that don't even know potentially what business analysis is all about.
Welcome to the Inside Business Analysis podcast. I'm your host, Tanner Jacobs, and today I am joined with not one, but two very exciting guests, Michael and Eszter. How are you both doing today?
We're doing fine, and we're blessed and thankful to be on your podcast. And thank you for having us.
Well, I am the one who's really grateful to have the both of you on. You guys are looking cool. I am looking very different, but that's not a problem. This is your show, so I'm happy to for you to look this cool. Today's discussion is also a very interesting one, which is around the two of you go to schools and you teach kids about business analysis, which is very fascinating to me for many different reasons. Because most people would maybe go to university level, education or college level kind of students, because they are already thinking about careers and, think of that as the first point of call. But you guys are starting earlier on. I mean, right off the bat, what, just getting into that, what inspired you to begin with in terms of going to the kids level and teach them about business analysis?
You want me to start?
Yeah,
I'll start. So the way we got the idea is actually two members of IIBA started this global initiative of BA School Day, where it was the 1st of November last year, and you could sign up and go to schools and talk about what it means being a business analyst. And they really inspired us because they talked about how when you become a BA, it's usually by chance. You don't know it from a very young age that this is actually something that you can do. So we've actually sat down with Michael in one of our many meetings and said, actually, we shouldn't just do this for one day, but why not do it all the time? Why not make it our mission to do this? And because we are so motivated by this, I think that's how it all started, and it keeps growing since then.
Absolutely, so I think. And it fits well with our purpose and mission. So Eszter and I kind of want to help as many people that we can. And most, as Eszter was saying, we would love to inspire the next generation of business analysts, so I think. And it's not a role generally that you just walk in. We both fall into it just by mistake.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I love that mission and I love that work that you're talking about. Shout out to Adrian Reed and Christina Lovelock, the two people who brought up the BS School Day initiative. So, and I think it's a great initiative, but you guys have kind of taken that really on and as you've said, made it more than a day, and it's now becoming part of, what you're doing and what you're bringing forth. Now, on that topic, you mentioned that you both kind of fell into business analysis. Michael, you were a software engineer. Eszter, you were, I don't know if you were a lawyer, but you were a law graduate.
I was indeed a law graduate. I have law degrees and never became a lawyer. I wanted to go into academia and then had a change of heart.
Along the way, yeah. So you're both coming from these two very different camps, and somehow you both landed here, but then you're going to kids and saying, actually, learn about business analysis. That's so cool. What age groups are we talking about here when you do go to these schools?
Yeah, we generally start from the age of 12 up to university. So far, actually, we reached out to over 100 students. Is that right,
Yeah.
Eszter?
Oh, wow.
So we did 2 universities and a couple of college schools, so I think so far. So the age group are, quite big between them, and we just love the dynamics, isn't it?
Yeah.
And next week, Thunder, we're going to another high school, and we're going to speak to other 40 students, and that's George Stevenson High School, which is based here in Newcastle, I think. And we're taking with us another, is it 9 now, business analyst? Is that correct?
There's going to be 9 of us.
9 business analysts is going to join us, and we're really, really thrilled about it and excited. So I think it sounds like it's an amazing experience for those students that don't even know potentially what business analysis is all about.
Exactly, right? They won't have a clue. They won't really know. I mean, a question on that. So, as adults, we struggle to explain what we do, right? To our peers, people who don't work in IT, our friends, our families, etc., etc. But then you're then explaining what we do to people as young as 12 years old. So, please give us a secret. How do you guys explain what business analysis is?
Should I kick it off?
Yeah, you kick it off.
I'll kick it off. So I think, BAs, when they adapt the language between the business and technical teams, it's the same concept that we kind of do with teachers and with students. So, what do students and kids love? We figure out that they love gifts and fun interactive workshops. They love, storytelling aspects of it. So if we gave our experience how we landed as business analysts, that's very capturing for them side of things. And then we get them to think, what is business analysis for them? At the very beginning of, our workshop, we just get them trying to get a bit more imagination side of things. And then anything you like to add?
Yeah, I've done a lot of podcast listening on how to do storytelling right and how to engage with your audience in the beginning. And I think one of the things that we have found really resonated with everyone was that in the beginning, we don't go, hi, I'm Michael, hi, I'm Eszter, but we actually, for example, start with asking you questions about your day, about the skills that we associate with being a business analyst. Like one of them is we literally start our workshops or assemblies as, have you asked the question why today or yesterday? Or have you asked these questions in the past 2 days? And we get them to put their hand up straight away. And then that gets them engaged with us from the very beginning. And then we actually start with asking them, what do you think a business analyst does based on these 3 questions? Because we just told you that these are the skills you need. And they then get more interactive as the session goes on. Like we see so much more engagement because we start with this, and we do use a lot of humor. We do use a lot of GIFs. So our PowerPoint presentation is not available to send as an email attachment because it's too big to be sent as an email attachment because of the use of the GIFs. We talk about how we run workshops. Also, if I'm the one telling my career story, you will hear about my love for series. So all the GIFs are related to the series that I watch, and then hopefully the kids can resonate with that as well a lot.
Absolutely. And the workshops, we're now introducing Lego aspects of it. We're giving
cool.
those, yes, it's amazing. It's getting them to think about, the scenario where you have the business analyst, the client, and the developer, the tester. We're giving the scenarios like, this person became homeless. What can you do to help them out? So one is essentially the client giving the requirements, and the other person is the business analyst kind of needs to figure out the requirements. And then you got the developer, and then you got the tester kind of trying to make sure that, the solution actually stands up and is fit for purpose as well. So it's going back kind of keeping it at their language side of things and getting, making it kind of fun. That's the kind of key of it.
And for example, we're very excited about the Lego exercises as well that we're going to do, because we realized that one of the key things when you are a school-age kid is that you don't want to be told that that I want, as a client coming to you and saying, I want you to build this, the client is coming to you with a problem.
Yeah.
And you need to figure out what that problem is. So you need to ask the probing questions. And then we are so excited to see what they will use their imagination for and what they will come up with, because it's at that age you are not institutionalized. You don't think that set way. The world is your oyster, and that's what we want to show them, that use that imagination, use that creativity, and if you want to use that, being a BA is just the best option for you.
Absolutely, it's about thinking out of the box as well and breaking the rules sometimes.
Yes, we love doing that.
Yes.
I think you have to break the rules, actually. Now that everything you're saying to me is so incredible, but you're so right. You can't approach, I guess, kids with the mindset of technical language or structure, rigidness. You kind of have to break the rules and kind of think outside the box of how do we still present the message in the same, the message that they need to receive, but in a very different package, because the way we interact with them is not going to be the same. That is so cool. Thank you so much for breaking that down. Now, I'm really interested to know, you touched on the Lego aspect of it, and then some of these workshops that you get them to be involved and to kind of do some exercises and activities, which helps obviously to keep them engaged, right? Engaged in the sessions that you're running. Now, thinking of that, I guess that age between, I don't know, I'm gonna generalize it a little bit, but let's just say that age between like 15 to 16 to 18, where maybe they feel like, I'm not a kid, I don't want to play Lego, I'm a bit more grown up. How do you then approach that age group where they think that, I'm very mature, I'm ready for the world, but actually they're still young, but in their minds they're not.
And it's more, you can do that one. For me, it's more that I was so surprised. I thought, similarly to you, that they wouldn't be so excited about it. And then I've actually used Lego in one of the work experience students that we had in. I use Lego with them, and I've run this exercise. That's one of the inspirations for the Lego. And I was so surprised how much they loved it. They absolutely loved it. They loved playing with the Lego. They took it very seriously. Like, they approach it seriously, but they know that it's fun, and that's what they love about it. That you have to behave professionally and seriously, but you get to do something fun. And for me, that's whenever I do a workshop as a BA, that's what I try to do. Like, it's a serious thing we're talking about, but I do need you to feel like this is fun, so you can engage with me throughout the whole time. And that resonates with the 16 and 17-year-old age group. Like, you approach them professionally and you get them to play it out as a role play, and then they engage with it so much. And I think the last time I've done it, they were fighting over who was going to be the developer and who could build the Lego. So it turned out quite well. I don't know, you wanted to give another example.
The only one I want to mention, we did a presentation online to a university of Newcastle aspect of it. And we were doing this exercise, and a lot of students actually was in that case, who were very shy of actually talking. They were actually saying to us, we're in a cafe, we don't really feel like talking, aspects of it. We said, that's absolutely fine. You guys write in the chat and we'll drive the conversation. And they absolutely loved it. They were using emojis, they were writing to us, participating in the exercise, and they absolutely loved it. And that's another way of engaging, where you have those teenagers at a certain age that they're really keen on text rather than talking. And again, that's absolutely fine for us. It's still an engagement to get through to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so powerful. No, honestly, that is powerful. And I think maybe the one takeaway that we as business analysts can take from this is maybe to try Legos in our workshops at work and see how we do with those, right?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%, because it helps, especially to break the barriers in the beginning. Like, you could do a beginning ice-breaking exercise that you use Lego for.
It's a problem-solving aspect of it.
It will teach you how to solve a problem as a team, and that's what we're also trying to bring to them quite a lot. the other exercises as well that we use, they are focused on techniques for you to show you how you can solve problems together. So for example, we use a round robin technique in the other exercise we do, and it's to show you that if you come up with an idea and you take the feedback on board from the others, and then you together as the group can come up with something brilliant, and you will feel like you own it because everyone contributed to it, and that has also been quite successful.
Yeah. And another thing that it's very, very impactful is telling them our stories, how we became business analysts. And it just doesn't, I think that helps them, kind of give them the confidence it's okay to fail and it's okay to try new experiences. That's really nice as well.
Yes, indeed.
Coming from different, especially when it comes from different BAs. So the ones who are going to do next week is going to be even more powerful. They'll have the chance to hear about 9 of them.
Yeah. And it's even at the end, we did get asked, the previous sessions that we did get asked in the end, like, can you give us a story about your business analyst career that was a career defining moment for you? And that is so powerful because that's when they can resonate with you. So you do have to be a very good storyteller for that, and have to know what is the story that you want to give, what is the message that you want to give to these students. And I think, as you said, most of our messages have always been that it's okay to change careers. It's okay if something is not right for you, don't stick around.
Yeah.
Just go and try it.
And the skills are transferable always. You know, you can get those skills and transfer it in whatever job you do it. And as long as you have the passion, right? Got the passion, then you're in the right job. Kind of doesn't feel like a work day anymore, doesn't it?
Not at all.
That is so true. That is so true. I love everything about this. So let's fast forward to the end of the workshops that you're running, right? Or maybe even afterwards. What kind of feedback do you typically hear from the kids after your sessions? Do any of them come out and say, "Yes, I'm definitely going to be a business analyst when I grow up"? Or what kind of feedback are you hearing back from them?
We've had. I'll start, and then we've had, so one of the very first sessions that we did on the Global BA School Day, we did it at a law school because I wanted to go to a university where I went to and just bring back that all the skills that you have as a law student are so transferable to being a business analyst. And after the session, I asked for some feedback, and I was told that usually that's not the sessions that you would run for students, and the students were quite shocked when I went in and started asking them questions. I got them to think about how you would solve this problem that you are facing. I asked them about the end of it. They had to do a role play that was around the new legislation that's coming into force, and they loved it. And one of them actually said, "Oh, this is so relevant because I'm actually writing my dissertation about this, so can I be the expert on this and advice on it?" And I was like, 1,000,000%. So they engaged with the material so much more, and it was afterwards hearing that this was so refreshing and so new, and that they didn't know that this was a thing. I think the challenge with the law schools was that we are going in the university level where if you are at this law school mindset, you will probably want to become a lawyer. That's where you will end up. Whereas when we are going for younger generations, we can go and tell them, are you labeled as a troublemaker? If you are, you would be an amazing business analyst. We want you to become one because that's what we
fantastic.
are. We break the rules. We ask the questions. We are the ones who keep asking the question, why, how? And if you are that kid that's labeled as a troublemaker, think about becoming the BA because that's what you would be doing, breaking the rules, and it really suits you. And I think it's that angle that even though sometimes they don't always come up, you do see the light in their eyes that is there. You see the light switch and going, oh, this is quite interesting. And we do ask because we start with, what do you think a BA does? And then at the end of the session, we go, have you changed your mind about what a BA does? And those responses are so different, and they do get it. And they do get it what we do, and they do get the coolest aspects of what we do, the running the workshops. I think at one point I even stated we don't dance around in workshops, but if we have to engage with the clients, we dance. That's what we do. And they do get it. And that's the most positive feedback that we get, that they get it. And even in their answers, you see the passion that comes through in that.
And just to add to that, and the school and the teachers also love it, aspects of it, because it provides them a different flavour. Effectively, what they generally get, they get different trades. For example, they get plumbers, or we're talking about college students here, side things, the standard trades aspect of it. So it gives a different perspective, a different view, and obviously it brings fun to the exercise. I think that's the most important aspect.
Yeah, definitely. No, those are some really, really powerful feedback, I think, because as you've said, I think you're planting the seed. They may not come out of it saying, I've made up my mind, I want to be a business analyst, especially if they're at that degree level and, in their mind, they've already set, I want to be in this profession. But I think you're planting the seeds, and many people, like many BAs, you may think you wanted to go down one career path, and then maybe after a year doing it, you think, actually, no, this doesn't sound like the thing I want to do. And then I might just remember that one talk that Michael and Eszter did about business analysis and think, that sounded interesting. Let me look into that. So I think it's powerful stuff that you're doing there.
And that's it as well. I think one of the key messages that we do get across, especially when we go to 16 and 17-year-olds, what was very key for us as the message is that if you don't know what you want to do and where your heart is set at, that's okay. If you want to try something and you are not sure about it, try it and see if it works out. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. I mean, I did 3 degrees in law. Don't ask me why. And then I ended up here. So it's at the moment, and when I was at that age, I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. I thought that's where my heart was set. Then I wanted to become an academic. That's where my heart was at. And then I just said, no, actually, this is not for me. I don't want to do this. So let me find something that I would be good at, that I have the skills that aligns with my mission and purpose, which Michael is very great at. And it's that you just have to send that message across that it's okay not to know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, just to little bit add that, it's go with your gut feeling. Don't go with others say aspects of it. I think, I don't know the generation now, but we used to be quite influenced by our parents or by the family to do a specific role. So become a lawyer, become an accountant, you'll have a secure job. My response to that, don't do that, because you'll regret it further down the lines. Go with your gut feeling, try it out. And, if it doesn't work out, there's nothing wrong with it. The skills will be transferable to something that you like to do, but at least you tried something that you liked and not something that you've gone because your parents told you to do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100% on all of that. So there could be someone listening to this and, feeling very inspired by what you guys are doing and kind of thinking to themselves, I'd love to also do something along the lines of this, right? And go to schools, maybe do talks or workshops of that nature. The first question I've got is, how do you guys find kind of these opportunities? Are you effectively just reaching out to the universities and the schools and saying, hey, we want to talk about business analysis, or is there a different route?
I think that's the route we initially started off. So as BAs, we tried to build a report with schools and teachers, and similar to what we tend to do on a kind of with the stakeholders aspects of trying to actually engage with them. Now I think things are getting a bit more bigger in aspects of it. With the support of Opencasts, we're associating ourselves to STEM. I don't know if you heard about that organization itself, National Careers Week. And this is giving us the platforms to kind of engage furthermore to other schools in talking about essentially what business analysis is all about. I think you would like to add, Eszter?
I think we also leverage quite a lot of resources from Opencasts.
Oh, yeah.
And in the beginning, and it was a lot of, we've already had an established network of schools that we work with, and we've reached out to them. So we have an amazing team here who already does all of that. So we started with those schools, and that's where the engagement started with. And I think we will continue to leverage those relationships that we have.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's definitely worth pointing out that Opencast is that's where you guys work, and you've got you've got that backing, right? It's that backing from your employers, from your decision makers within the organizations to go ahead and make this impact over and above kind of doing your jobs. And I think that's a really powerful statement to just point out, because this is a great initiative, and it's honestly great to see an employer who's supporting it.
That's absolutely right, but it shouldn't stop other BA practitioners in different organizations if they didn't have the support from the organization themselves to go off and reach out to schools, because we did that as well. Try to build a rapport with the school and teachers, and if you got the passion for it and you want to teach about business analyst, that shouldn't be a stopping block perspectives, I think.
But the other side to that is that we did have so much support from the beginning, and that's because everything that we do as part of this initiative really aligns with the values and the purpose of the organization. And because we are so purpose driven and we are so big on social impact, this so aligns with what we are all about. And when we've had the idea and we went with, can we do this? The organizational support was massive, and we were just told, absolutely, go ahead and do it, and we will support you. What can we do to help you? Which is so refreshing to see that we, as business analysts in a business, can just come up with this idea and then you can go and run with it. And now, as you've said, it's becoming bigger because we are getting support from the organization level to say, actually, this aligns so much with what the business is doing that we will support you guys and tell us how we can help you, and we will help you. And that's so refreshing to see as well. And I think that's why we are so passionate about it as well, because we know we have the platform for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of, I think the message that I would like to give to kind of other organizations is kind of the same. And I think it gives back to the future generation of business analysts. And that giving back will come back to the organization itself, if that makes sense in the longer term side thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100% on that, and it is refreshing and it's great to see. So yeah, kudos to Opencast for that. Now, thinking again for these BAs and who are wanting to follow suit and do the same as you're doing, if you could kind of give them some advice or one thing that they should kind of take away from this conversation, what would that one thing be? And this is for BAs who want to start teaching kids about business analysis.
Have to narrow it to one, because we got so many.
So we like breaking the rules.
Yeah, and we got so many in our mind. I think for me, first thing, right, it just go do it, but do it with passion and meaning. I think that's my first advice. And make it fun. Think about the audiences, and think about the examples that we've given about the workshops. And we're happy, us and Eszter and even Opencast, we're happy to share the workshop templates and email templates to the schools that we send. So, if the people actually really wanted to do it, we can make those available through your platform as well. So we'd love to do that. And anything else you'd like to add, Eszter?
I always want to add something, although he tends to cover most of the points that I want to make most of the time. I think for me, what helps as well to prepare for these sessions is to try to put myself in the shoes of the kids who we are going to talk to, and to think of if I had someone like us coming to talk to us, what is the thing that I would have loved to hear the most when they came to me when I was that age? And what were my problems? What were the concerns that I had at that age? And try to think, like, if I went back in time and I had someone like us going to talk to us about business analysis, I would have 1,000,000% researched that and then gone down this is actually cool. Where can I go? What can I do? But that's very much down to how we sell business analysis and how we tell the stories and how we make sure that we make it so personalized and it resonates with them what we do. And the only way to do that is if you put yourself in their shoes and if you go in with the right purpose and the right mission. Because if you are just going in to do it, but there's no underlying purpose or mission for why you are doing this, that will come through when you are telling the story, and that will come through, and the kids will see through it that you've just been put to this because someone told you to do this. Whereas if you are doing it because you are so driven by this and you want to give back to kids, it comes through.
Absolutely. I think
100%.
that's beautiful. Absolutely. Nailed it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Definitely. Yeah, no, you did. I love that. And on that point, Michael, you mentioned about resources and templates. I would love to see those and certainly will make those available on our platform. We'll put the link in the show notes of where people can go and download them or at least be able to get them. Michael and Eszter, this has been such an empowering, encouraging, and inspiring conversation. I have really, really enjoyed it. Before we kind of wrap it up and bring it to a close, I've got a couple more questions to ask. The first one is, if anybody would like to reach out to you guys personally, either that's to pick your brains about the topic of discussion today, or maybe even ask about these templates and resources and email templates that you mentioned, or anything of any kind, where is the best place for them to do that?
I think the best place is to reach us out through LinkedIn. Mine is Michael Quandt, and I believe that yours is Eszter Brooks.
It
I
is.
think. And you can also reach us through our kind of Opencast, and I'm sure that Opencast will redirect the emails to us as well.
Great. I will put the link out to your LinkedIn profiles as well in the show notes so that people can click in and check them out. And the last question, which is going to be for the both of you, I'll give you an opportunity to answer, is that you are clearly very passionate about what you do as business analysts, and you're passionate about teaching that to kids and the next generation to come. If you could kind of sum up, what is it that you really love about business analysis? What would you say that is?
Oh, I was not ready for this question.
I can start off from my perspective. From my perspective, it is about business analysts covers so many angles. And one of the reasons why I started off a computer science degree and then halfway through the degree I kind of didn't like essentially just being the coding aspects of it. For me, it's about bringing people together and making sure that the communication is clear and is having a common understanding about things. What I like and what I really like is actually empowering people that we're doing the better good from long-term perspective side things. And I think that's it. How about yourself?
I've had time to think, so now I can answer your question. I am a people's person.
Yeah.
I think you can tell. And I think business analysis, you can't do it if you're not a people's person. You just have to be good with people. And also, while I was doing my uni degree, I was asked in one of my entrepreneurship conferences to come up with a motto that I would like to have for my life. And that resonates with me and that I want to live by. You know this already. And my motto is to help at least one person a day. And I think that with business analysis, I can do that every single day. And I can really feel like what I do has purpose and it fulfills my destiny that I was set out for. And when we get to go and teach this to the kids as well, I can even help even more people to show them that it's okay to change your career path. It's okay not to know what you want to do. It's all going to be all right in the end. And I think that for me, it's about the people, the connections that you make, and like the people that I interact with. I tend to end up being friends with them if we get on very well, and they stay in my life even after we finish projects, because you end up building those very meaningful relationships with people that you just don't want to let go.
Yeah, I love that. I love that for the both of you, and you've both articulated your passion very well there for business analysis, so thank you for that. Michael and Eszter, as I said, it has been a pleasure. Certainly want to acknowledge the work that you're doing. You know, it sounds easy to say we go to schools and teach business analysis, but I'm sure there is a lot of work that goes into planning the material, ensuring that it is going to be fit for the audience and that will captivate, you know, the message that you're trying to teach them. But more than that, you, as I mentioned earlier, you're planting seeds in their hearts around potentially career choices. I am a firm believer that you don't have to have a business analyst job title to do business analysis, and wherever their roles may lead, I'm sure you've planted that business analysis seed in them. So I think that's really powerful to mention. But once again, thank you both for gracing us with your expertise and your knowledge, and I've really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thunder, for having us on board.